Tensions between China and Taiwan are rising fast, and in the middle of this high-stakes drama, a surprising player is moving into focus: the Philippines. At the heart of this strategic shift lies a little-known province, Batanes. Barely 125 miles south of Taiwan, the windswept Batanes Islands are suddenly at the center of a global power play. Their location tells the story. Close enough to Taiwan to act as a launch point, yet remote enough to operate discreetly, these islands hold the potential to shape any future showdown in the Taiwan Strait. With China stepping up its presence in both Taiwan's direction and the contested South China Sea, Manila is reshaping its defensive game plan. After years of tense maritime encounters and sharp statements from Beijing, the Philippines, backed by its oldest ally, the United States, is turning its attention northward. This new focus aims to strengthen military capabilities in northern Luzon, with Batanes as the crown jewel. This move is deliberate. In 2024 and 2025, U.S. and Philippine forces staged joint combat drills here, realistic war game simulations preparing for threats from the north. The Philippine military is now sending more personnel to secure this chain of islands, transforming Batanes into a fortified sentinel. Recent months have brought new naval facilities, and more are on the horizon. With help from Washington, infrastructure upgrades are reshaping these once quiet shores into a forward operating hub. As China projects more power in the region, the Philippines is anchoring its presence right where it counts. Picture deep water ports for massive vessels, airstrips ready for large military aircraft, and response facilities prepared for both crises and conflict. That's unfolding right now on Itbayat, the northernmost inhabited island of Batanes, where a joint U.S.-Philippine facility is taking shape. Itbayat's position is no coincidence. Overlooking vital sea lanes near Taiwan, it offers a direct line into maritime routes that carry huge geopolitical weight. The goal? Strengthen control of this critical space while deterring unwanted moves from Beijing. In October 2023, the Philippine Navy activated a new detachment on Batanes Island, also in Batanes. Stocked with emergency supplies and equipment, the site can support operations ranging from disaster relief to full-scale defense. The U.S. military calls it a weatherproof fortress for essential gear, ready to endure both storms and potential hostilities. Since early 2024, combined naval patrols have fanned out from Batanes toward Taiwan's waters and deep into the South China Sea. These coordinated movements signal an unwavering watch over a zone where every nautical mile matters. Security layers continue to grow. A new Coast Guard post now operates on Itbayat, tasked with monitoring illegal activities, maritime threats, and foreign incursions. The message? These waters are being watched and every approach is tracked. China has noticed. In 2022, its forces expanded operations near Itbayat as tensions with Taiwan and Washington escalated. Manila responded by planting its own flag here, signaling a readiness to hold ground. The stakes couldn't be higher. Itbayat lies within the Luzon Strait, a narrow maritime corridor that serves as both a trade artery and a potential flashpoint. This stretch of sea carries lifelines for global shipping and regional security. Even though Itbayat sits just beyond the lines China uses to justify its sweeping claims, its position places it at the heart of Asia-Pacific stability, freedom of navigation, and the future balance of power. The stakes are climbing, and as Itbayat evolves into a fortified outpost, global eyes are locked on the Batanes Islands. For many, these remote specks in the northern Philippines have flown under the radar. Now they're emerging as a pivotal frontline in the high-tension standoff linking Washington, Manila, Beijing, and Taiwan. Batanes has already played host to Balikatan, the annual U.S.-Philippine military drills, but this year, Manila is going further. More troops, more infrastructure, more readiness. It's a central move in a larger Indo-Pacific strategy built around securing the first island chain. Central to that mission is the Bashi Channel, a narrow stretch of water between Batanes and Taiwan. This isn't an ordinary waterway. The Bashi Channel is a strategic chokepoint, a route for vessels moving between the Pacific and the contested South China Sea. Any flashpoint in the region could see this channel become a key artery for military movement or a prime location for blockades. In China's naval playbook, it's a route of immense importance. The Batanes region itself lies within the Luzon Strait, a passageway carrying global shipping, home to vital undersea internet cables, and regularly patrolled by Chinese warships conducting large-scale drills. In the event of a Taiwan crisis, this strait would likely see massive naval traffic and possibly fierce battles. Meanwhile, another island is stepping into the spotlight, Fuga. Located in the northern Cagayan province about 250 miles from Taiwan, Fuga Island has recently been added to the list of sites open to U.S. forces. Its location grants direct access to the Luzon Strait and the Bashi Channel, two maritime corridors critical to controlling movement between the South China Sea and the wider Pacific. From here, operations could be launched to check Chinese maneuvers. The focus on the north is unmistakable. Many of the new sites under the Expanded Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, ECDCA, are in Cagayan and Isabela, far from the West Philippine Sea. These facilities and airfields, combined with intensified training exercises, are positioning both militaries to defend the northern frontier. When ECDCA first rolled out, 5 sites were identified: Cesar Besa Air Base in Pampanga, Fort Magsaysay, Lumbia Air Base, Antonio Bautista Air Base, and Mactan Benito Ebuen Air Base. Then in 2023, Manila approved 4 more: the Balabac Runway in Pawao, Camilo Asias Naval Base and Lalo Airport in Cagayan, and Camp Melchor de la Cruz in Isabela. With these additions, U.S. access now extends to airstrips and bases along Luzon's northern edge, ideal for quick deployment in the Taiwan theater. 3 of the new sites sit in northern Luzon, a placement that signals serious preparation for any regional crisis. ECDCA isn't only about combat readiness, it also authorizes U.S. forces to use these facilities for humanitarian missions and disaster response. In a country prone to typhoons, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions, that capability is critical. The Philippines holds a unique position in Southeast Asia. It's the only nation with a formal mutual defense treaty with the United States. That status is giving Manila a stronger role in shaping regional security policy. By deepening this alliance while building out infrastructure in the north, the Philippines is reinforcing its place in the Indo-Pacific power structure. For years, Manila worked to keep ties with both Washington and Beijing steady, seeking trade and investment while avoiding confrontation. Now the compass is shifting towards a strategy centered on the Taiwan frontier. Officially, leaders emphasize peace, preparedness, and resiliency. Projects in Batanes, for example, are described as lifelines for a province often cut off by storms, ports to bring in supplies, airfields to deliver aid. Yet those same facilities could also support fighter jets, surveillance aircraft, and rapid troop deployments. On paper, they're built for relief. In reality, they can be turned to defense in a heartbeat. Runways designed for relief flights can handle combat operations, and Beijing is watching closely. From its viewpoint, these upgrades are not quiet preparations, they are signals. Every new port, airstrip, and base in the northern Philippines fits into what China believes is a growing ring of dual-use strongholds positioned around Taiwan. To Beijing, that's a line in the sand. It sees Washington, supported by partners like Manila, building a network ready for rapid deployment should a crisis erupt over Taiwan, an island China considers destined for eventual reunification. Manila insists the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement is about readiness and peace, but the underlying signal is clear: the Philippines is stepping forward. Each outpost now plays into a larger picture. The focus on Taiwan is real, and it carries weight for the U.S.-Philippine partnership. For decades, this alliance has been shaped by confrontations in the South China Sea and the defense of Manila's exclusive economic zone. Now, the horizon is shifting northward, toward Taiwan's contested waters. For Washington, this opens new possibilities for force positioning, joint operations, and military presence in places few allies can offer. For the Philippines, it means access to training, technology, and resources that can accelerate the modernization of its own forces. That opportunity comes with a balancing act. Chinese incursions in the South China Sea continue, and shifting resources north could leave other areas vulnerable. Yet the foundations of the defense partnership, anchored in the Mutual Defense Treaty, expanded EDCA sites, and the annual Balakatan drills, remain firm. Geographically, the Philippines holds a position others cannot match. It's a gateway state in the Indo-Pacific power struggle, a forward presence in the push to counter China's growing reach. As its focus shifts toward Taiwan, Manila is stepping deeper into that role. The recent Balakatan exercises made that shift undeniable.
For the first time, training scenarios included potential conflict situations involving Taiwan. It marked a move from purely territorial defense to preparing for larger regional contingencies. In late April, U.S. forces conducted a maritime key terrain security operation using the Nemesis system on Batanes Island in Batanes province. These drills simulated anti-ship strikes, exactly the type of mission that could play out in a Taiwan Strait flashpoint. The operation unfolded as a Chinese aircraft carrier moved through the Luzon Strait, the narrow passage between the Philippine Sea and the South China Sea. The timing sent a signal of its own. This exercise, called Comodog 9, was more than a drill. It was a demonstration of coordination across air, sea, land, and cyber, underscoring how far the alliance has advanced. The U.S.-Philippine military relationship is operating with greater speed, capability, and alignment than it has in years. Where Manila once focused almost entirely on its exclusive economic zone, Taiwan is now firmly in its strategic calculus. The question growing louder in defense circles is not only what happens if China makes a move, but how far the Philippines will go if the United States responds. That question is no longer theoretical, it's moving to the center of Manila's planning.